Hey Stamping friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachel Coon and it is Wednesday's kit class and I think I am upside down. For some reason my phone has started doing this, so I apologize if you should be seeing me this way and I'll fix it in just a second. Let me go ahead and flip the camera and hopefully you guys can enjoy making some Halloween treat holders with me today. Kind of like punch art, but for treats. So 1 second while I flip. Okay. Wrong way. So let me double check real quick and see how you guys are seeing this. Let me. Give me a shout out if it looks like it's crooked or not, or if it's straight. You guys see it going this way across, or am I to the side? Let me know so I can try to fix it. If not, then we'll just keep on going and hopefully we're not too crazy or crooked. I can't get it to come up on my computer. Let me double check real quick. Yep, it looks like you guys are crickets. I'm going to see if it will turn it this way. If you guys can see it without it being crooked. It's sideways. Yep. Thank you, Chape. 1 second. I had this issue once last week, and I thought it would just be normal and fine because I always do my lives this way. But let's see if it's going to turn. Hopefully that's the right way now. It looks like you'll see less of the screen that I have in view, but that's okay. All right, well, welcome to Wednesday's kit class. I apologize for the technical errors that we're having today, and hopefully you can still learn how to make some fun treat holders. I'm going to show you 4 different ones. We have this really cute diaper folds, what it's called, treat holder, and you can put candy inside. This one requires no adhesive, and it comes together really fast. Then I've made this really fun Frankenstein's monster, and it's a matchbox style treat holder. So it has this little staple here, and you can flip it open, and you can see the candy, which just happens to be Frankenstein's cup from Reese's Pieces right now, peanut butter cups. So that was super fun. And then I have this really cute mini little pumpkin made with the keepsake, the mini curvy keepsake box holder. And then I have this super fun mummy candy bar wrapper that can hold a Hershey's candy bar. All right, as you may know, my kit classes can come, you can get this kit completely in the mail for free when you do an online order from me of $35 by Friday at 4 o'clock. And you'll get all the paper pieces needed. You'll have to have your own stamps and your own adhesive to complete the kit, but everything else you'll come with it. And like I said earlier, I am using the mini curvy keepsake box dies for some of it, and that's a suggested item if you need something to buy. There's that one right there to make that guy. I'm also using the Banner Year stamp set, and there's a cute little boo is what I used from this one, but there's lots of fun Halloween ones like Happy Haunting, has a treat so sweet. I've used the bat recently, the cute little spider web, the pumpkin with its top, and his little face as well. So there's lots of great ones in this stamp set. And also I'm using the Harvest Hellos, and I'm using this cute little face today for our little pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the easiest one first. And we're going to do the diaper fold one. But it has a cute little cat that's been punched out and the moon, and it's just an easy fold. Let me show you how to do it all. And you might catch a theme. I really like Reese's peanut butter cups, and this one is a ghost one, which is super fun and yummy. So it's white on the outside to make it look like a ghost, and then it has that yummy peanut butter filling. I'm telling you, Reese's should give me some sort of earning rights for sharing all their candy day. All right, so for my moon, I'm going to take my Mango Melody ink. I'm going to open it up. We're going to work on the first image on the outside. So we have our cute little cut out circle using the 2-inch punch right there. I punched that out already of the same color of that Mango Melody. And I'm just going to put some ink on my stamp. Sorry, on my sponge. Make it in the view so you can see it. It's a little bit harder. This workspace is a lot more narrow than now. My phone has to be flipped. I'm just going to ink it up like that, and I go around the edges. And I just turn it around. And this makes our moon just have a little bit more of a fuller look to it. Kind of like a ring around the moon. The moon right now is not this full. It's really pretty. It's a little sliver slice. It is growing right now. And it probably won't be full for Halloween, but that's okay. All right. The next part is that you're just going to attach your cute little punched out cat. And I just use the basic black, and I have the cat punch, which is another item I suggest to buy, is the cat punch and also the circle punch. Those two together will add up to $34, so $18 each, which is super awesome deal. Now let me see if I can find any of my, oh, here they are. My dimensionals. We're going to put a dimensional on the back of this cat so he's ready to go, and add him to our moon. And we're just going to put him on the bottom there. And then we're going to just give this one a little bit more bling. My first one didn't have any. I'm using the Holiday Rhinestone, and I'm just going to give it a little bling up here. All right, you guys ready for this really easy fold? We'll put our little cat and moon to the side. It's called a diaper fold because it kind of looks like those old-fashioned cloth diapers. You guys are probably way too young to remember many of them, but that used to be a thing where they had to flap it over and then use a safety pin for it. So that's the name of it. I'm using the Magic in the Night DSP, and it has double-sided. So we have this cool web look on one side and the bats on the other. And it needs to be 6 by 6. So it's not too hard of a piece of paper. You can make 4 of these out of a 12 by 12 DSP sheet. And right now, this is the Magic in the Night DSP, the Designer Series paper, and it's on sale until Halloween. After that, it goes back to the full price. All right, so for the diaper fold, what we're going to do is take one corner and go all the way up to the top corner. You could use your bone folder if you want to get a nice even crease, but it's not necessary. There we go. Then, and also, sorry, I forgot to tell you, you need to pick what you want for the inside or the outside. I never really have a preference, so it's fine either way. All right, so this guy on the top, now that we have him, we're going to put him down here and just fold it again so that his tip goes to that bottom. We're getting ready to make our little pocket here. Just like that. Then we're going to flip him back open, or close, I guess, and we're going to take this corner and meet it all the way to this line or edge right here. Take your bone folder again to help you. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing. This is the other side of the diaper. And we're going to fold it over to this corner here. Let me grab my bone folder. This paper, our DSP, is pretty thick, and so that bone folder really does help get a nice, good crease on it. Needs that added pressure. All right. The next part is that we're just going to take the top flap that we folded earlier, and now we're going to fold it down. Just like that. And we'll crease it again. And stick my fingers inside. And there's our little pocket we've made with no adhesive at all, just by folding it. And it will hold candy really nicely. The last part we will do is just embellishment. So we'll just put our cute little cat on there. And I like to use the tear tape for this part, just because it's a little bit of stronger hold, but liquid glue would be just fine. You just have to hold it there so it doesn't move. And I'm going to do kind of like a T on this one. So we have some going across and some of it going through. Oh, I see a couple people here. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Phyllis. Thanks for joining. And Margine, thank you for helping me with my early technical issues, and I still apologize. I know this angle is really weird. All right, but we'll just keep on going with it. And there's our really cute diaper fold using the Magic of the Night DSP, the cat punch, and the circle punch, and we stick some candy inside. Really easy and fast, and you can make lots with it. All right, you guys ready for this cute, super cute Frankenstein? This guy was a creation of mine that came to me when I was trying to think of another idea, more like a box, and I didn't like that box because I didn't know what I would put into it. And so this one I love because I kind of created him. I gathered some ideas, and he is a creation of my own. His measurements, however, did come from another blog, and she actually used a 3x3 piece of DSP. Let me get him in there, sorry. A 3x3 piece of DSP, and then she put the cat punch over the front instead of the space here. So you could design this matchbox fold with any Halloween-looking thing. I just really liked the Frankenstein's monster and had him on here for us. All right, let me go ahead and tell you the measurements. I have this piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock, and it is a 3 1/4 by 7 3/4. I have scored it twice, once at 3 1/4 and once at 6 3/4. So I have those score lines right there. I'm going to go ahead and take them and just go over it slightly like that. With my bone folder, there we go. So this part right here will make that little pocket to put the candy into and make it like a matchbox. All right, the next part we need is some of our Granny Apple Green ink. To give him a little bit more coloring, I'm going to do the same thing I did with my moon, and I'm going to sponge. So this kit is great to work on your sponging skills. And what I do is I just grab my sponge, and this is a sponge cut into 4s. So our sponges come in circles, and I just cut this one so I can make 4 sponges out of 1 to use with 4 different inks. And I'm just going to go along my edges here. Just like that. And give our Frankenstein's monster some depth and color to him. I'm even going to go on this bottom part right here, because that's going to flip out as well. I am going to change one thing on this card today, or not card, on this treat holder, and I'll show you what, and you can tell me which one you prefer more. While we have our ink out, we're also going to grab our eyes and ink them up in our nose. You will probably get a little bit inky because these items are smaller. And this is just using the 1-inch circle punch, which I think is retired, but I use it for a lot of things and keep it on hand. And I also use the 1/2-inch circle punch for the little blacks of his eyes. And when I cut this out of my paper, when I punched it out, I did this on the straight end of the paper. And so that way I didn't even have to use scissors to cut off just that little bit. Let me show you my paper so you can kind of see. That's how I did it. So you can kind of see how I have it where it's missing that edge right there. And I use that straight edge for the bottom of my eyelid. All right, let's get his little nose. And I did the same thing for this one and just the smaller size for his nose. Yep, we're going to get a little green today. My thumb or my finger may go green. And that's okay. Let's assemble those eyes real quick. Let me get out my silicone mat for it though. Okay, get that into the scene. This is my silicone mat. I love it because it helps me keep my sticky stuff all in one spot. And it's easy to wash. And it helps keep my work surface clean. And I don't have to replace my grid paper nearly as often. Okay, so we have all of our eye pieces here, and I'm just going to take some liquid glue. And my secret for his eyelids is that I am only going to put my liquid glue around the top of it. I'm not going to put any glue on that bottom, and you'll see why in just a second. And then I'm just going to put it over that same size of circle, so it should match pretty nicely, like that. We'll do the same on this one, because, you know, a monster has to have 2 eyes. I guess if it's a cyclops, you can have just 1. I have this 2 eyes on that Whisper White circle. Let me get it up so I can move it around. There we go. Then I have my little black ones, and I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on there. And because I made that little pocket where it didn't have glue, I should be able to slide it in here just nicely. And I put it so it's covering it just a little bit, and then I can press down. We'll do the same thing on this one, a little bit of glue on the back, and we'll slide it into his eyelid pocket that we created by not putting the glue on the bottom. Just like that, and then I can press it down. We're getting some eyes there. Those are looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and add it to our monster. I did use my rectangle dies, and I cut out his hair using that. So it has these really cool stitched edge to it. We'll put that on the top of our matchbook before we add our eyes. And you could even do it at a slant if you want and make him look kind of crazy. I kept it straight for the first one. We're going crazy for this one. And then we're going to attach our eyes. And for him, I kind of did something similar. I did mostly glue on the top. So that way I had a spot to still stick in my cute little nose. Put one right there. And we'll stick his other eye right there. He kind of has a sleepy look to him. He's a tired monster. I don't blame him. Oh. And since I didn't put glue on there, I can kind of just lift that up and those little eyes will come up. And I just stick his little nose in there. All right, so it's up to you where you want to do his little mouth. You can either do it on his bottom half here or the top half. I'm going to switch it up and so you can see what the difference would look like. Once the candy's in there, it will pop it up a little bit more. I'm using my Stampin' Write marker, and I'm using the writing tip, that looks like a pen. And what we're going to do is just make a cool little squiggle line right here. We're going to just go starting here and kind of have it going up and down. And then I'm going to do a big line right there and another line right there, and then just do little dashes going through them. This is a very tired monster. All right, the last part is to make his little, well, 2 last things. To make his little bolts, I have this piece of paper here that's also part of the rectangle stitch dies, and I am going to cut it in half. It doesn't have to be even, it's going to be hidden. And we're going to put his bolts down here this time. My first monster I made, you have him up a little bit higher, but we're going to try putting it more down on this one. And we'll see which way we like it best. That's how I design most of my things, never knowing which way I like it. And so I just try it. And sometimes I like my first way better, and sometimes I like the second way better. All right, so now we need to grab a stapler. And we're going to put a little staple just on this bottom half and right about underneath his little mouth we created. This is an old retired Stampin' Up! Stapler, but any stapler would work. Okay, so we have that there. Now let's stick in his candy for the moment of truth. We'll put in his little Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and we'll fold in his little mouth, his little face. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, there we go. So there's the difference. There's one with it on the bottom half, and there's one on the top. Which one do you guys like better? They both have the same supplies. It's just a matter of placement. So if you get this kit, you can totally choose where you want to put your monster's mouth. Oh, I kind of like it like that, where it looks like he's kind of opening it. Oh my goodness. Love it. He is so cute. All right, you guys ready for the next one? Let me put some stuff away. The next one, we don't need any adhesive at all again. So that makes it super easy and nice. So we'll get our silicone mat out of the way. And let me grab the things that we need to stamp. This is the mini curvy keepsake box that I've die cutted out. And I did it in the pumpkin pie cardstock. And I am going to take this really cute jack-o'-lantern face. And you can see I have it naked still. I I even put my sticker on the back of it, so it's going to be a mystery when we stamp it, but we kind of know what it looks like. I'm really bad about putting my stickers on it. It's a bad old habit. I used to never put them on. When you stamp it, there's 4 sides. You could pick 2 sides that you could want it on. You could even do a double side if you want it to have it on both sides. But you want to put his little face on the side that has the handle. And then we're going to go and ink it in that Memento black and stamp his little face. I thought this would also look really nice in the embossing black. Would look awesome for this one. All right, we're going to let him sit there for a hot minute while we quickly do our tag. So we're going to stamp everything right now. And this tag actually came from that same little set, the curvy dies, the mini curvy dies. I'm going to ink up my Boo and my Granny Apple Green, just kind of at a tilt like that. Awesome. And then we'll close up that ink because we are done with it. I love rhinestones, so I'm going to add another one. I'm going to do a little green one this time, and we'll put it on here with the Boo. That Boo tag. Oops, I cut it on my finger. 1 second. There we go. Well, actually, that one didn't come off with his back. Let me see if I can get a new one. There we go. That one should stick. There we go. A little Boo there. And that would even be really cute as an exclamation point. Let me see if I can move it. I'm going crazy over here. There we go. That's super fun. Let's get it to stay. All right, we'll set that aside while we keep on working on our curvy guy. You do want to get your bone folder out for this part, and you're just going to give a little bit of a curve like that to our paper. We're just kind of breaking up some of these fibers and giving it some shape. And all I do is I put my thumb over the end of my bone folder on the other side and just kind of pull it. Not too hard. There we go. Then we're going to take our bone folder and I'm going to crease it down on these lines here, on these score lines. And the fun thing about this treat holder is that you can pick, if you want, some cute little candies like the kisses inside, or you can even fit a mini tea light to go inside of it. We'll turn it on so we can see what it kind of looks like. So that would fit like that in there. Let me go ahead and get them mostly closed up, and then we can put our treats inside. So what you'll do is you'll grab your 2 handles together, and we're going to kind of push it down like that, and you'll put it through this cutout. We'll do one side first, and then we will fill it with either that candle inside so he can glow, which is really cool, or we can even fill it with our candy. And about 3, maybe 4 kisses is all that will really fit in these guys because they're so little. This is the mini. We used to have a larger one of this shape, but now we just have this cute little mini. All right. So still no adhesive, it's just the pulling of the paper that keeps it closed. And I can hear my candy inside. All right, for the next part, we're just gonna make it fancy by giving it a tag and some ribbon. So I'm gonna take my linen thread and cut off a piece for my tag. And my rhinestone is still not sticking, so I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'm going to put my 2 pieces linen through like that, and then I'm going to pull it through the loop and tie it just like that. Then I'm going to tie a knot at the top. Just pulling it through like right there. You could trim it down if you want so it's not so big. And set it aside. Then I'm using an old olive ribbon. This one's from the Ornate Garden, and I'm going to use about 12 inches. Maybe even 10 would be fine. I like to give myself just a little bit of wiggle room. I'm going to thread it through the top. The downside of using ribbon on here, it makes it a little bit harder for them to get the treat out. But if you have little kids you're giving this to, maybe you want them to slow them down a little bit. Just maybe. All right, so we've tied 1 knot. Then we're going to attach our little tag we made and put it to the side right there over the handle. And then we'll tie a bow. And this is where you just have to play with the ribbon a little bit to make it the size that you want it to be. But that's not too bad. I just need to trim it. This ribbon was very forgiving to me. And I just love how that turns out. Look at that little cute tag and that little bow on the side. Cute, cute. Is that one a fun one? Love it. All right, we're almost done today. We are cruising. Well, we're not doing too bad. Let me show you the last one, which probably takes the longest, but he's really cute. So it is this mummy bar wrapped, and he is wrapping up the chocolate, which I just love. Super cute. This one requires a liquid glue to help you seal it down and the tear tape. Let me give you the measurements, and I'll show you how we do it. We're going to use very vanilla is the color that I started with. So it already has like that dirty look to it versus the Whisper White, which is like a really crisp color. So we're already starting with him a little bit dingy because he's a mummy. He's been around for a while. He's not going to be super clean. Let me find his measurements for you though. I know, let's see. Here we go. So he's 5.5 by 5.5. So that's a perfect square. And we are scored at 1.5, 1 3/4, 4, and 4 1/4. Let's go ahead and use our bone folder and get those marks down. And when I say score, I use my paper trimmer. So my paper trimmer has a cutting blade and a scoring blade. And the scoring blade is what makes the, there's little indents here. And also is what I use all the time when I'm making cards. So that way they're easier to fold in half. We just make a little score line. It doesn't cut the paper, it just leaves it easier to fold there. All right, so we've made this little pocket here. We're gonna need our chocolate bar now. We're gonna insert it in like that and just wrap it up. And we're gonna go to the back side and I'm gonna put some tear tape here on the back. However, when I do this, I keep it loose enough that I don't have to destroy this mummy wrap. I can keep it by just sliding it off. And afterwards, of eating the yummy, delicious chocolate, you can keep the cute mummy wrap as a little decor you could put somewhere in your home. All right, let me line that up just right. Using that tear tape. There we go. Before we go crazy with wrapping, let me make his eyes. I just have these two shapes of circles. For this one, I did little dots in it, which is totally fine. I thought it'd be kind of cute also even to do rhinestone eyes for his other part. Let's see if I can find his other eye. This one actually might have to be a cyclops if we can't find it. Oh, I could always make new ones though. Here we go. All right, that one and that one. So we're gonna make his eyes so they're ready to go for us. And we're just gonna use that liquid glue. Put just a little dot on there. And we're going to use our Take a Pick tool, putty side, real quick to help us grab those pieces. When you're using these little tiny pieces, sometimes it's hard to pick them up. And so this Take a Pick tool has this putty side right here that you just can stick on and it comes. And if I put pressure on the paper, it lifts it right off as well. So I love this tool and use it all the time. And it has two other ends on this side. One's pokey. And the other side is a spatula kind. So you can use things to get off easy with that as well. Favorite tool, I think it's like $10. It's such a great tool. And I recommend any crafter to have that in their craft room. Okay, you ready to get wrapping? Let me show you how. So I've cut little strips of very vanilla cardstock, and I've cut them from 5.5 by 3/4. And what we'll need to do first to this one is I'm going to show you the two ways to do it. So the very first wrap we put on, I want to have it torn on both sides. So you're just going to take your paper and gently pull and get some of these ends off of it. It's going to make it kind of rough on the ends and give it that texture that we want. And I do it on one side for the rest, but I have just one that I will tear on both sides. And that will be my starting wrap. You can tear up or tear down. I think I prefer to tear up when I tear. But when you do it, you just want to hold one side next to it so it doesn't go too crazy down. And work your way through. Okay. This other one, all you would do was just one side, and that's super easy. Just like that. And see, I can even get this one, keep on going. Which these little pieces, you want to save at least one for the cute little top that we have here. Okay. So the next part is we got to make this mummy look old. So we're going to use our crumb cake ink. And we are going to use our sponge because that's today's theme. Almost everything's been sponge. I think the only thing we didn't sponge was our cute little pumpkin, which you totally could have done that as well. We're going to take our sponge, and there's two ways to sponge. If you don't want to get super messy, you can just put your finger down and keep on your grid paper and go around your edges like that with your sponge. Sorry, I know it's going to shake you a little bit. The method I like to sponge is usually hand in hand. And I will rub it across like that. Just like that. And I'll go around all the edges, even on the back, and all the way through. It's looking more like a mummy now, huh? Not so clean. And we'll do the same thing to this one. And the great thing, you can kind of see it here, is how that ink is just picking up those edges that we just tore off and filling them in. So the most of the center part, I'm leaving that very vanilla still. I'm just getting these very edges to the mummy. And you can do this probably in the smoky slate would also be a great color choice, more of a gray. Just depends on what you want your mummy to look like. Okay, so we're now going to take our first piece and we're going to kind of go across. We're going to go about 3/4 of the way up of our candy bar. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to just bend it on this side here, kind of give it a little crease right there to right there. I'm going to move them up just a little bit so it's a little bit higher. There we go. And then I'm going to get my liquid glue and I'm going to glue that first piece down. And we'll wrap it around. We'll just kind of eyeball it again, figure out which way I had it, just about there. There we go. And you lay it flat. And you see on the back, they'll also be going kind of crazy depending on where we have it. Right there. Okay. Next, you want to add those eyeballs. So we're going to put them right about here. And you can use take a pick tool again or grab them and kind of put them so they're just a little bit over that edge. Put them right there. And then we're going to grab another piece of our wrap. I've made some ahead of time so you don't have to watch me ink them the whole time. And we'll just grab this and we'll do the same thing. So I usually shape it first. So I go over here and I'm going to try to make it so it's covering up a little bit. And then I will crease it on the sides and then I'll add my glue. There and on there. And we'll put him back on. There we go. So his eyeballs are just kind of peeking out of this one. And I left that even space there, which I really like to have that space showing there. Then we just go to town and we keep on wrapping them. This one on the top, I do want him to be kind of straighter here. Just kind of, and you want to try having it so it's about halfway on your strips. But that is this mummy. You just keep on wrapping until you wrapped him. You can't wrap him anymore. And then you can even grab your little piece. This is part of the piece that we had teared off earlier. And we can even stick it in here in his little wrapping. Or you can even put it in another one. Depends on which way you want it. I saw someone else who had it even going down on one of theirs instead. So it's just up to you. Kind of like a scarf versus a little tag on the top. So we can just add this guy. Give him a little bit of glue. and shove him in here. He might still have some wiggle. If not, then we will put him on top right there. And then I can just trim off some of this. I probably should have ripped it so it looked a little bit more gruesome. That's okay. Okay. All right. Just keep on going and go at different angles. You could have it going this way, all the way down. Takes about 8 of these strips that I've made before at that 5.5 by 3/4. And I've seen some of the mummy wraps that create little cute little mouths here, and you could totally do that as well using that same Stampin' Right marker that we used earlier for our Frankenstein monster's mouth. All right. It's looking pretty good. Just kind of keep it going, building down. You can leave that empty space as well. This one I wrapped up really good, so I didn't leave much space of that empty space at all. But as you may know, mummies are not perfectly wrapped, and so that empty space is fine. And if you want to go back over that space with some of the crumb cake to give it even that dirty look to it, you totally can. All right, so I continue with this. I would love to hear what some of you guys are doing for Halloween. Are you guys giving out treats this year? If not, are you making any treats for your neighbors maybe, or people, your coworkers who you're close to? This is where these would be really cute gifts. You probably wouldn't want to do like a whole neighborhood full of mummy bars. That would probably take some time. Maybe you do. Maybe you are one of those awesome, fun neighbors who makes the best gifts for the neighbor kids. I'm going to go this time going with the rough edge going facing down and my straight edge going there, just to give it a little bit of difference. And then I have probably about room for one more on this very bottom. Maybe 2 more. We'll see. Go like that and we'll finish him off. So cute. My kids are coming home, so we're almost going to be done. Okay. Oh my goodness. So there we go. So you can see the difference of this eyeball on the monster. Which one do you like better? The ones with the extra dots in the center or the just white spooky ones? Ooh, I love them both. I think I'm going to add his mouth just so you guys can see what it would look like. My daughter and I really debated if a mummy should have a mouth. Okay, let's see if I don't mess this up. Kind of go like a squiggly here. Ooh, not too bad. Go over so a little bit thicker. Oh, he is cute. Oh, I love him. There we go. 2 of our mummy bars. All right, you guys, I hope you had a great time learning how to make all of these treat holders. Tell me which one was your favorite. If you enjoyed the easy peasy diaper fold one, if you love the cute little pumpkin, or if that Frankenstein monster is your favorite. Thank you so much for visiting me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.